Hi, this is Rick Harsh, brought to you by Saber Guitars. My new segment that I start every video with is my language segment, and I didn't prepare anything today, but because I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I'm making a pot of chili right now, and so this could be a cooking show, but it ain't because I ain't going to tell you how to make chili. If you don't know how to make chili, well, make something else, all right? Because you can use the same ingredients to make hamburgers and with beans on the side. Well, anyway, so the thing is, I got roped into this by my alter ego, and where'd he go? Oh shit! I might have been too rough on him. The balcony door's shut, and I can see the balcony right there, and I don't see him. Okay, jump, motherfucker. There, now he can jump. But he jumped already. He's not there. So what I was thinking, should we assassinate Trump? I mean, because Trump is the only person who can save Gazans right now, and he's not going to do it. He's a bad presence. But I'm here to tell you, don't assassinate Trump. I have to mention this because I know a lot of my friends are, like borderline ready to kill someone. And, we talk about it all the time. If Kissinger were still alive, we'd kill him. Dershowitz, I think if I saw him, I couldn't prevent it myself from killing Alan Dershowitz. And I got just a knife for it. I should have, if I'd have known I was going to talk about it, I'd have brought the knife, but I didn't. So let's talk literature. No, we're still on assassination. The thing is, don't worry about the consequences. I mean, if you're going to kill someone, you're doing the world a favor, and let that be your consolation as you rot in prison or whatever you do. I would slay Dershowitz, but I would argue not to, because as long as he's on Earth, he's just making an ass out of himself. He's a pedophile, and he somehow got the Epstein witness to say, well, maybe it wasn't him, and then he thinks that exonerates him. There's everything he said about what happened, he lied about. And it's provable because he was on, flight logs and so on. He says, I only talked to him a couple times. And, once I found out what he was, I only talked to him on the phone, but a lawyer, you still got to represent the guy. Well, yeah, but you don't have to go to his island with the little girls, do you? Do you, Alan? You lying fuck. You Zionist slum brain. There we go. Anyway, so the thing is, you want to think about killing Trump because he's but you can't kill Trump because there's still a legal process left in the United States that can't be violated by Trump because he's the president, and once he's dead, he can't stop J.D. Vance from becoming president. So J.D. Vance, my argument would be that J.D. Vance is a much more malign presence. So don't kill Trump because Vance is much more malign. And I think, some people call him smart because he speaks in English sentences. There's the language lesson for today. Anyway, the point I wanted to make, I put on my innocent hat. Look at me. Would I kill anybody? Never, except Dershowitz. Oh, God. I should show you my knife, but I can't because it's on the balcony with my alter ego, or where my alter ego jumped from. And I didn't feel a fucking thing. My alter ego jumped off the balcony, 4 floors, to the ground. I didn't feel a thing. So, don't ever worry about your alter ego, I guess is the lesson here. But a couple of things came up on the news while I was pondering this, and I don't remember what the first one was, but the second one is equally bad, and I want to look. I want to look a little stylish with a region of Marche hat from Italy, just across the water. And so the thing is, Eric Prince of Blackwater, who is one of the demons depicted in The Manifold Destiny of Eddie Vegas, Eric Prince is in Haiti to solve the problem. Haiti, the situation in Haiti, I won't go into the history of it because it's so complicated that I haven't memorized it yet. But I watched Noam Chomsky's last interview, and I've never seen Noam Chomsky emotional, when delivering something. But in that last interview, he nearly was in tears. He didn't even want to talk about Haiti. When he finally did, you could see what the problem was. Noam cared about human beings, and he cared about justice. So you see, we've strayed from we're far from the topic of Dershowitz, Trump, and Vance. So Noam really cared about Haiti because they were so badly fucked by the United States again and again and again. First, they were fucked by the French, but the French, just like in Vietnam, the French fuck until they're fucked, and then they just leave it, And so they know when you've gone too far. Although the paratroopers, watch out for the French paratroopers. They're still pissed about Algeria. Yeah. Well, okay, but that's not something to worry about in Haiti. The French do not want anything to do with Haiti right now. The U.S. has done so many bad things in Haiti. They've fucked the people in Haiti so badly that by now this is a U.S. problem. And Eric Prince of Blackwater is in there now to get the gangs. I hope the gangs get that fucker. That guy is just a murdering, lying pig. So yeah, if you see him, you can kill him and be self-defense no matter what. Under any circumstances, I will testify for you that it was self-defense. And I think I can make a really good case that it's self-defense because he's the kind of guy that as long as he's on Earth, you can be justified in fearing that he might kill you. If that isn't self-defense, what is? So anyway, now this is a hat I can cook in. So this is where I'm going to say goodbye. I had something else to say about this injustice or that. We live in a freaky, fucked up world where people are just talking normally about Gaza, and what's happening there is if you read about the Holocaust, the German one, and you read about Gaza, if you read details, you will have very, very similar experiences because it's horrific. If you try to put yourself in someone's shoes, it's just, God, how would I have done, in those circumstances? I've got an artificial valve from vessel to ticker, I don't want to go to jail, man. So I will not probably fly to the United States under any circumstances. I'm afraid they'd detain me, and why not? I love Senoir. I think he was a great man, and we're thinking of publishing his novel. I'm studying the possibility right now, although I don't know how to study it. I don't know, but I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, well, who's going to be angry if I do it? The thing is, I think if I make any profits from selling his book, I should give them to Gaza, and I would like to give them to a civilian member of Hamas. So, saying that probably puts me on a no-go zone. And the EU has just sanctioned 3 journalists without what anyone in the world would call due process, and it was a legislative branch of the EU. and it was just done. All 27 countries voted for it, including this shithole. I could finally call Slovenia a shithole. They bug me about not knowing the language. I do know the language to a degree, and I know it well. I know it like I know my enemies. And some people, one person was really just giving me too much shit about it. I was sitting with a friend talking. This person sat down, and he starts giving me shit. Why are you talking in English? Because he's fluent in English, and I'm not fluent in Slovene. It's the way it goes. And if you give me shit about it, I say, okay, I moved here. I brought a wife who's learned Slovene very well, and I've had 2 children here who grew up speaking Slovene. I think I've done my share. Why do I have to have excellent adult Slovene? I don't, except at times. There's some good jokes you can make if you don't know all of Slovene. But anyway, the guy said, how come you don't speak Slovene? We're in I said, because I hate Slovenes. Well, anyway, that's what? Give me a euphemism. That's the toilet flush. Bye-bye.